Hi, Professor Project, video number 2 of the 3 videos for the Plyo box. We just went over everything you should need to know about the step up and the step over, and now we're going to talk about the box jumps, specifically when you do box jumps staying on the same side of the box. Next video will be box jump overs. First thing, warm up. So one of the reasons this box jump video I haven't done sooner is basically in the open regionals and games, box jumps sort of disappeared after 2016, and I think for good reason. The reason for that was every time someone programmed them in at CrossFit HQ, someone would pop an Achilles. So it was Julie Fouché at the 2016 regionals, or no, 2015 regionals. And then at the 2016 games, it was Alethea Boone, and that was rebounding box jumps have the possibility to do that to your Achilles, no matter how highly trained you might be. So they kind of just got rid of them, but now that we have sanctioned events and we have other people obviously just organizing their own competitions and online qualifiers, I've been seeing a lot more box jump overs and rebounding box jumps showing back up again. And so with that in mind, let's go through what you can do to make these efficient, to make these fast, and hopefully make them safe. So warm up, big one is just actually warming up. So getting on a bike, getting on a salt bike, going for a bit of a run, doing some double unders, just actual blood flow and actual warmth is going to help, even like compression socks if you're into that. And then just your average sort of warm-up stuff, right? Like rolling, stretching. I talked about this in the other video with the step-ups. So you're getting a lacrosse ball from underneath the arches of your feet, lacrosse balling your calves a bit, foam rolling your IT bands, and then just doing some warm-ups like this, and then gradually getting into some double unders and a little bit of hopping, and then slowly working your way up. The worst thing you can do is just, if you're cold and you say, all right, let's do rebounding box jumps. So don't do that. And for instance, today I'm just going to be doing them 20 inches because it's same, and it's just 4 less inches for me to jump today because it's all going to show you the same thing anyway. Warm up. So when you have a workout that says, box jump, a lot of times you have some options regarding how you're allowed to do those. So there was a year in the open, I think it was 2014, where it said box jumps, but even the elite competitors, the open category, the masters, teenagers, everyone was allowed to step up. And so although stepping up and stepping down is slower, in a lot of ways it's easier. So make sure you know the rules, whatever comp you're at. Hey, can I step down? Can I step up? Can I jump down? Can I jump up? What's the rule? How do I know I need to get up here and show lockout, which is knees straight, hips straight, standing straight up. This doesn't count. This doesn't count. This doesn't count. You gotta stay locked out. Touch the bottom of both feet and get back up. But how you get up and how you get down, you basically have 2 options. You can jump up, you can step up, you can jump down, you can step down. So we'll go through all those options in a second. And with all of these, I'm gonna go over it each time, resting at the top. So if you do have 100 of these to do, and you've done 50, don't rest down here, hands on your knees. Rest at the top. If you need to, hands on your knees. Rest up here, okay, then 50, all right, let's do another 10, 10, 10. Always rest at the top. It's just a good habit to get into. It eliminates the possibility of a no rep on that last rep, because you're gonna be up there long enough, you're definitely gonna get the rep. And especially in the case of a lot of these techniques, you're gonna see why it makes sense to sort of treat the ground like lava. The ground it's like hot potato. Get off the ground, get back up onto that box, and then stay up there for a little longer if you need to. So rest at the top. The first way, there's basically 4 ways you can accomplish a box jump if the standard is just get up there, lock out, and get back down. The first way, the easiest way, I would say, is the step up and step down. And we went over this already in the last video. Find a rhythm. Step up here, alternate back down, tap, back up, alternate, tap, back up. Pushing off that bottom foot, then pushing off the top foot to finish, showing a quick lockout, and then immediately pushing yourself back down. Now, for the next 3, those involve jumping. And so I'm gonna go through this little jump warm-up. There's 7 steps, and I stole this from Lucas Parker. Saw him posted on Instagram once, and I thought, that's a really good idea. So these are some jumping and landing warm-ups you can try, and the more you struggle with these, the higher likelihood that I would recommend you do not do rebounding box jumps. So, first, facing this way and landing, cushioning the landing and having your arms in front of you, so jumping down. Trying to make as little noise as possible. Coming down and landing like this. Don't land like this. Don't land like this. Land like that, sort of in a partial squat. The next one, you start with your hands here, and then when you land, your arms are actually going to land here, or finish here. So here, that. Got same thing as that one. You're going to land like this, and then you're going to re-extend and use your arms to drive into a little hop. So out here. Go, and now we're going to do those three again, but you're going to repeat them and you're going to be facing the box. Now landing with your arms kind of down here in your pockets. Now you're going to do the same thing, but you're going to hop straight up, not back into the box yet. Oops, see, I didn't do that one right. Hold on. Okay, and now you're going to do your first rebounding box jump. Oh, shoot. There we go. So those are your drills, and that's the arm motion, that's the body motion to do a box jump. So the second option, we already went over step up, step down. Now we're going to go through the step up, jump down. This seems weird, right? But if you can land in a safe manner, this kind of makes the most sense. If you're running up a mountain with a bunch of steps away from a mountain line, you wouldn't be hopping up the mountain, right? You would be taking steps. Aggressive steps, mind you, but steps nonetheless, especially for a lot of reps. And then the quickest way to go from up to down is to drop. As long as you can do it safely, it's to drop. So this is an option. I'm not saying it's the option for every situation, but it is something that you should be able to do in the situation that it's needed. So you're going to step up, lock out, as you can see, that's pretty quick. Doesn't take up a lot of energy. The act of jumping is a lot more strenuous on your core, on your breathing, and just sort of general fatigue, your heart rate, than the act of stepping up. And if you can land without it taking too much out of you every time, that can be a really, really quick option for doing quick box ups, if that's allowed in your competition. Something to practice, something to consider, especially if you need your heart rate and your core. And let's say it's combined with something like double unders, you want to save that juice for some other movements. So that is an option. Make sure you're cushioning that landing. It should be pretty quiet. If you sound like this, you're louder than that, and you can feel it jolt all the way up your body, probably not the move for you. The next one is the jump up, step down. This one's a little more common. Obviously, you're going to stand down here, you're going to jump up, show lockout, step down, and re-jump. What I would recommend, so this is the slower way, is like this. Sort of regaining that confidence, maybe taking like a little shuffle step. What I'd like to see is you're going to step down, and as soon as this foot contacts, notice my arms as I'm stepping down, I'm reloading them, and then I'm jumping up. You can get some pretty quick box jumps going that way. That's the quickest way to do them if the confidence in your rebounding isn't there. Make sure with that you definitely want to rest at the top, because like I showed you, you kind of use that ground as a springboard. You bring that one foot down, and then if the other foot comes down, it's a tap, make contact, drive back up. Show the lockout at the top, rest at the top. The final one is the rebounding box jump. Make sure you do all those warm-up things I already showed you. And in my opinion, if you can't do a rebounding box jump and have a really quick turnaround time on the ground, like as quick or quicker than you would do, like, or about the same time as you would do, let's say, a double under, where it's like this. If you're going like this, you shouldn't be jumping down and jumping up, because the risk of injury to jump down like that and reload, it's not worth it, because it's not any faster and it's less safe and it's less energy. So if you're the kind of person that does rebounding box jumps and you're sitting down here for a good second, I'd rather see you just do what I did before, which is to step down and jump up. Make sure you still show that lockout at the top, and then eliminate the double knee bend. So I'm going to show you the fastest box jumps I can here with rebounding. So you're going to jump up, show the lockout, jump back down, immediately jumping into the next rep. So I'll do 3 reps as I normally would here. Might have been 4. Now, one thing I do that I'm trying to get rid of is, so to make these a little faster, is to jump higher. So you can jump in a position where you're almost already locked out, like this. That's going to obviously speed things up as opposed to landing, extending, and coming back down again. But the other thing that some people do, including myself, that slows them down, they'll jump up, they'll lock out, and they'll do this double knee bend. So they'll lock out, and they'll kind of do this like as they're falling back, which allows them to sort of hop off the box and down. So ideally, you get up there, you lock out, and then you immediately push those hips back into the next rep. So I'll show you what those should look like. A little quicker than the ones before. So that's it. That is the plyo box jump on the same side. The third and final video with this box is going to be the box jump over.